Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Bradley Golden. I'm an associate professor of naval architecture here at Webb and one of the committee members of the Sustainability in Ship Design and Ship Operation Conference. So welcome to everyone who's here in person. Welcome to everyone who's here online. I just have a couple of quick words. Basically, about 3 years ago, I was asked if we could share a little bit of information on wind propulsion with our students. Since then, we've not only shared this information with our students, we've had hundreds of attendees, both in person and online. It's remarkable the outreach that we've been able to provide on this topic. We've expanded from just wind propulsion to all aspects of sustainability. And I think one of the most important things, or at least to me, one of the most remarkable things, is that some of the projects that we were talking about 3 years ago were just concepts, were just designs. No one really knew whether or not these would take off. They're being built, they're being completed, they're being delivered, they're entering into service. So we're seeing true action being taken now towards trying to promote sustainability in ship design and in ship operation. And I think it's a testament to every one of you out there in the room, out there online attending today, who are showing that there is a commitment to sustainability, to trying to improve our industry and help the greater global community. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for all of your efforts. And I hope over these next 2 days, you learn something new, you make some new contacts, and that we can play our small role in this greater good. With that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce our university president, Martecchini, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Bradley. Good morning to you all here at Webb and attending online. I'd like to thank all those who are making this event possible, starting with those hosting and coordinating, Webb Institute and the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, and supporting sponsors, Wind Support and Marriage. By running this event, we bring visibility to this critical area in the U.S., where let's be honest, we are behind developments compared to Europe. Making sustainable shipping a reality was never going to be easy. The technology shift that's needed, fuel types, and how to produce them in a green way, how to consume them effectively and safely, the opportunities and limits of naturally green technologies like wind and electrics, all the things possible with hulls and their operation. Those changes are actually radical. Now, past shifts in maritime technologies took place in a more concretely defined environment. Think of the shift to low sulfur fuel or the implementation of double hull designs for tankers. Those changes were primarily economic in nature because the technologies were established, but not so this time around. Now, the maritime industry is roundly criticized for its slow pace in developing the regulatory and financial structures needed to make this transition happen in a timely way. The reluctance to move faster is understandable. When the means to achieve desired outcomes are only vaguely understood, we have truly moved into the world of aspirational rulemaking and all the risks that implies. So where's the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, in all of this? Well, as of now, 5 to 10% of the energy used by shipping should be zero or near zero emissions in 2030. We have additional progress targets for 2030 and 2040 before we get to the final 2050 goal. But when I see words like intention combined with level of ambition and indicative checkpoints, I see lots of uncertainty in expectations. We need a level playing field, and starting with these ill-defined targets is not going to get us there. Some, of course, are pushing ahead with more certainty. The EU has well-defined targets. The emissions trading scheme will have a big impact upfront, while the Fuel EU initiative will have much larger impacts as time goes on through 2050. Commercial entities, charters, banks, insurers are behind the Poseidon Principles and the Sea Cargo Charter, and they embrace various efficiency ratings. But we must avoid too many regional or independent industry approaches. That adds complexity and cost. We do need to raise the price of carbon-based fuels to make decarbonized fuels or natural technologies cost competitive. And all these new schemes will do that, but beware. Those running them don't plan to return that harvested money back to shipping. They plan to fill holes in government budgets or support island nations impacted by climate change. Yes, shipping does generate 3% of emitted carbon, but that doesn't mean shipping should solve the climate ills of countries that don't have the means to do it themselves. Let the countries with the biggest emissions, let's say the US or China, shoulder that burden. Shipping needs that money reinvested back in its new technologies if we are to succeed in decarbonizing. I'm glad to see that wind has the largest number of papers in this conference. There are many different approaches to harnessing that free power source, with interesting trade-offs in complexity and cost versus benefit. I'm intrigued by the number of papers on nuclear power. I look forward to them convincing me of how my concerns on the safety and disposability aspects can be set to rest. Now, regardless of which technologies may become winners in this sustainability sweepstakes, the real winners are going to be the young people in this market sector, many of them attending here today virtually. With new technologies comes growth in new companies, and that translates to career opportunities, both starting out and moving up the ladder faster. During my 15 years living in Rotterdam, before I took up this job at Webb, I learned this phrase, geen woorden, maar daden. It means it's time to stop talking and start doing something. Great words for us and for the IMO to keep in mind. Time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. Thank you and have a great conference.